Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. There's the information. Hopefully, you can read the information on that box if you want to look that person up or the deck up. Supporting Oracle cards, Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. Oh, God. Let's go, let's go, let's go. This is Sagittarius. This is very... What is going on? This is very interesting. I feel like you're very distant with somebody at the moment. Something new is coming forward, but how is that? I don't know. All right, let's just keep going because I'm curious what's happening here. Because it's like you're dealing with... Are you dealing with somebody? You're dealing with a person, I feel like, for most of you. I guess it could be a situation, but you're just just keeping them at a distance. You're keeping them at a distance. You got safe home protection and fertility. Plus, you got the Queen of Swords. Like, you've thought this out. There's something that needs to happen here. There's a certain way, like, you want something out of this situation. And I feel like it's connected with a person. And I feel like you're very direct and short. The way this card, the Queen of Swords, is adding in right now, it's not brutal. It's very, like, she's a very intelligent card. This is typically one of the smarter cards in the deck. Probably, yeah. Like the High Priestess, the Emperor, the Empress, the King of Swords. Usually, the Swords Court, they're usually all intelligent, like above average, if you will. But it's kind of like you're using your intelligence and you're like, it's not biting. It's just kind of like, I need to keep this there. I want this person to feel this way about me. Which, like, either you want them to, like, hear what you need to say and just understand and leave it alone, or you want them to like you, but at a distance. Or maybe you're just kind of like, I want us to be on respectable terms. For some of you, it's like, I want to be on respectable terms. I don't want to confuse this with any buddy-buddy stuff, but I don't want them to think I don't like them. I just want this to stay in a respectable level. I feel like that's for a lot of you. Like, it's not a biting card. I don't like it when people read this card as if she's bitter. I don't think the Queen of Swords is bitter. It annoys me sometimes. I feel like she's very intelligent. She knows what to say. And she knows how to say it. And she knows when to say it. She's very smart. That's how I see this card. It irks me sometimes when people go, oh, she's a bitter woman, or she's going to say nasty things. I don't see that card that way. I'll just get right off my soapbox on that. Okay. Things are going forward. Things are working. You are, like, helping this person, but you're doing it at a distance. It's almost like, for example, if it was a relative, like a sibling, or it was a friend, or somebody like that, and they need groceries, you'll go and get the groceries, but, like, they'll be out at work, or they'll be out somewhere else, and you'll drop them off and put them in the refrigerator, and then you'll leave. Or, like, for example, if it's a parent, and you have a difficult time getting along with that parent, and maybe they need a little extra money for this or a little extra money for that, you'll send it over through PayPal, or you'll send them some money, like if somebody else is going that way. Oh, take this to my mom. She needs it. You'll help, but you're keeping a distance for some reason. You just feel like that's what's necessary at this point. It could be work related too, where you're just kind of like trying not. You're putting in what you need to put in. You're contributing, but you're just keeping that distance, like you're still contributing, and it's working. You're helping. You're legitimately helping. You're doing what you need to do. You are doing your part. And things are going... The harvest here is making me feel like it's working. I feel like that's working. Like, for a harvest to happen, there has to be a lot of tender care. Like, you got to tend to the plants. You got to do what you got to do with them. And when it's time, you pick the fruits of your labor, right? you're contributing and it's working. I feel like it's working. It's good. Okay. So this person is trying to lure you. Are they trying to lure you? This is like, what's up with my card? It's got like some schmutz on it. Why is there schmutz on my card? I'm all caught up in the schmutz. Can't blame the cat for that one. I know it was me. I must have been eating. They literally are trying to get your attention. They're trying to lure you in. Like, come hang out with me. Let's go have some fun. I haven't seen you in a while. There might be a conversation here, but it's like if it's a conversation at a distance, like texting, phone calls, something like that. For some of you, maybe they caught you out somewhere. I don't feel like it's like it doesn't seem like they got you tied down. Like this is a conversation you can easily escape from. Is what I'm getting. But they're like, come on, we should hang out. We should do this. We should do that. And you're very nice and graceful about that. But I feel like you're kind of like saying, I can't. I got things to do. I can't do it. You got these two cards. Is that the Queen? The Princess of Cups, which in this deck, I don't read it as a page energy. I read it as like someone training to be a queen. This is somebody with strength of their own that's going through lessons, that's learning what they need to learn to actually be able to rule. So it's a different energy from a page, in my opinion, the way I read it. But you're being very careful what you're saying with this person. You're learning. You're stepping carefully. You're like, you don't want them to know that right now you don't want to be around them like that. You don't want them to know that. That's the authenticity behind you saying like, I don't want them to know that. Because you don't want them to feel bad about that. You don't want that to create an opinion or any type of bad feeling. You're just like, for right now, you don't want to. You've made that decision. I don't want to do that right now. But you're not looking to cause anything negative. So you're keeping it to yourself because you're like, if I bring that honest conversation forward, that could have repercussions down the line, or that could make this person feel really bad. And I don't want to go through all the ins and outs about what I'm feeling. I'm just trying to sort this out for myself. So you're just kind of like saying, no, not right now. I can't. I gotta, I gotta wash my hair. I love that excuse. That's the best one. I gotta wash my hair. Yeah. So if you're somebody like me and your hair's this long, you know, like, you might as well just tell them you don't want to hang out with them. But I think it's funny when somebody says, I gotta wash my hair. I'm like, oh, okay. You're really, like, when this person's trying to get your attention more and trying to get you to hang out with them more, and you realize that's what they want and you have to kind of put them off, you know that they're going to want to do this again. They're going to come around again. And it's kind of like that moment where you're like, I really got to think about what I want from this situation. Because the way it's going, you realize if you can only deny them so long before they're going to realize that you don't want to. The thing is, you're not committed to that thought right now. You're just like, you're not really sure. You got to think it through. You're just like, do I not want them around at all? Because if I keep pushing them off, if I push them off too many times, they will disappear. It will cause a problem. And you're thinking about it, but they're also like, they're realizing that something isn't right here. You don't want them to know that, but they're kind of like, they're reading between the lines and they're starting to question it themselves. And they're kind of like, well, seems like the Sagittarius, when they want to do something, they find a way. And they didn't give me options for an alternative. They just said they couldn't right now. They weren't trying to find a different time to hang out. So, and then usually if they want to do something like that, they find a different way to make something work out. So, they're just wondering. At the same time, they're kind of policing themselves, kind of like, well, I don't want to overthink this. Maybe they were flustered that day and they had a lot in their mind. Maybe that's all it was. So there's thought on both sides. You're realizing you have to make a decision, like, how do I need to handle this? They're wondering, like, is there a reason they didn't want to hang out with me, or are they just busy? Because they tend to be busy, but then they tend to work things out. They're kind of like, the knowledge on their side is like, if you don't want to, then you don't want to. I feel like this is going on a little longer. But I feel like they're also warning you, like if this reading is really hitting for you, like the longer this goes, the more this person starts to question, like, what's wrong? Like, is there something they don't like about me? Is there a problem here? Like, what aren't they saying to me? Did I do something to upset the Sagittarius? The beauty card on their side is making me, like, they're really starting to wonder, like, wait, is there a problem here? Like, they're starting to question it. Like, is there really a problem? Like, and I feel like that's a big piece of this reading for you, if this is really hitting, to like they want you to know that like this other person is going to start questioning and wondering and start feeling like maybe there's a problem that just isn't being said, and if the Sagittarius isn't telling me, like why aren't they telling me? And they're starting to wonder. Okay, now there is definitely a reason you're staying away from this energy. There's something that's off base here that's bothering you. I feel there's definitely a purpose. Like you're not just doing this just for fun. Obviously, you do have reservations here. The advice is to go forward and go towards the conflict. The Five of Wands is telling me there's a conflict here. A change will happen from this. They're also giving this is the best possible decision. If you default, you're going to end up with a bad ending is what I'm getting, because there could be a break, or this could walk away. Even if you're attached to this person like in a family sense, it may damage the relationship to where you rarely see this person, and they don't go near you any more than you go near them. And if you try to go near them, they don't want to be a part of it anymore. It's almost like a silent insult is kind of what I call it. Like nothing actually happens, but due to the lack of connection, due to the distance, the emotional distance, it's just like this person might feel insulted by that. And there's no actual moment to where you can connect that to, but they just feel insulted that you haven't been around, so they don't want anything to do with you, and they're just like stay away, like they feel offended. Like it's like I don't know how it's like the silent insult. It's the best way I can put it. Like people just feel that way. Like if you avoid somebody long enough and you don't see them long enough, they're just like, well, apparently you don't want to see me. Apparently I don't mean enough for you to connect with me. So it's like an insult, and they just like that's how they treat it. And they're just like, well, just stay away then. If you don't really want me in your life, then I don't want you in mine either. It's kind of what it's like this silent insult. It's a dangerous thing. I think it's a dangerous thing. I think it happens more than people realize, because sometimes we just need breaks, and sometimes those breaks go a little too long. And then the other side, whoever that is, it's just kind of like, well, if you want to stay away from me that long, maybe you should just permanently stay away from me. It just happens. Just be aware of it. They're saying go towards what's bothering you. The best possible decision, so this decision doesn't get made for you, is to confront what's going on here, and just bring up the conversation. I'm finding this very interesting because harmony is coming out of this along with the death card. The death card is not a bad thing. You need to be aware that it doesn't mean like this person is going to leave. But I do feel like there's going to be a change. There's going to be a new change. Like when you come forward and you address the situation, you're going to end that problem. So whatever is bothering you with this situation, if it's the point where this person, their personality just gets right on your nerves and you have a hard time dealing with the way they say things, it could end up to where you're not really seeing this person very often, but maybe you have an understanding on why. I understand that some of these situations could end, but it's better to end it knowing where you stand rather than just people just having this weird, awkward distance. You should each know about where each of you stand. It could end. I feel like you're having better changes. Especially with harmony. Like it seems like harmony is saying you and this other side agree. So it's talking it out. It's making you nervous. You're feeling you're very conflicted. This doesn't have to mean you're actually arguing. I know it looks like it on this card, but I'm feeling like you're very conflicted. You're very bothered by the situation, and you're afraid of a fight. It doesn't mean there's going to actually be a fight, but even if you do end up arguing at first, you come to an understanding of who each of you are, and it creates a new future for you. I feel like it's better. Whatever the discord or the disconnect is, it's being fixed. If there's a chance for you to be close to this person again, that will happen. If it's just one of those things where this needs to move on, that will happen if that's necessary. Either way, the misunderstanding needs to be cleared up. By letting it just default out, I just feel like you're cheating yourself out of a possible good ending, whatever that means. And it doesn't have to mean like this person's leaving your life good ending, and the ending of the problem. Because it could be a situation that's bothering you, ending that situation so you can move forward with this person in a healthy way. Especially if you're like married to this person, or if it's a spouse, and you're kind of distant with your spouse. Like, you can only do that for so long before there's damage. I'm just saying. The silent insult. Anything else? Alright, I think we're done. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.